This presentation is delivered by the Stanford Center for Professional Development.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us this evening. I appreciate you all coming out after working all day to learn a little bit more about our programs and how to engage with us throughout the quarter. My name is Michelle Lucas, and I'm the Graduate Program Manager here at the Stanford Center for Professional Development, and I'm pleased to be able to host you this evening for this event. We are recording this session and we are streaming it live. So for those of you that are accessing this online, we are asking that you submit questions, comments, feedback through Twitter at Stanford Online, hashtag SCPDGrad. Just a quick agenda. We're going to go over the introduction of Stanford University, the School of Engineering, and then the Stanford Center for Professional Development. We are also going to talk about how to access videos, which I'm sure is going to be very important to all of you. And when you guys start your classes next week, they begin on Monday, you'll have less chasing around trying to figure out how to access the video content. So we're going to cover that in pretty good detail. And we are also going to kind of go over a logistics summary of homework and exams and who to contact if you guys need anything during the quarter, and also share with you guys some resources that will help you throughout the quarter. So we'll go ahead and get started. So Stanford University opened opened the doors for education in 1891, about 120 years ago. It was founded in memory of Leland Jr., who was Leland and Jane Stanford's only son. He died of typhoid fever when he was 15 years old, and so they opened this university in his memory. And they had made a decision very shortly after he passed that because they wouldn't be able to do anything for their own son, they wanted to be able to use their wealth to help other people's children. So that was the inspiration for this university. From the time that it opened its doors, Stanford University was very untraditional. It was coeducational, it was non-denominational, and it also was committed to providing a practical education. They wanted to produce useful and cultured citizens. So that differed from a lot of the other universities, private universities at that time. There are 7 schools, and the schools really focus on a multidisciplinary approach to education. They are collaborative across schools within the departments, and we also have a lot of collaboration with industry as well. You can see the numbers here of students, and the one thing that I would want to point out is that there is approximately a 5.9 to 1 student to faculty ratio, which is unusual. And we have 5,000 plus sponsored research projects here at Stanford, and we have a lot of initiatives on human health, the environment, sustainability, and 3 of our School of Engineering departments are ranked #1 by the National Research Council. The School of Engineering, specifically, it's one of the top engineering schools at a top university. We're located here in Silicon Valley, which is kind of the heart of innovation here in the Bay Area. Lots of entrepreneurs here. World-class research facilities. There are, again, like I had referenced in the last slide, we have 5,000 plus projects that are here, research that's going on campus. And so we have some great labs with state-of-the-art equipment here. There is a large alumni network, which hopefully many of you will be affiliated with when you guys have finished up your programs here. And we have been pioneering industry education for quite a long time. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but the Stanford Center for Professional Development actually started out over 50 years ago with Hewlett and Packard and Fred Terman, who was the dean of the School of Engineering at that time. And they wanted to be able to offer education to their engineers and their leaders to be able to continue and stay at the top of their industry. So they were able to facilitate a part-time master's degree where the students would come here to campus, take classes while they were able to maintain their career. A number of years later, they were able to broadcast the classes on a television network, and then about 12 years ago now, we started doing online education. So it's evolved over time, but we've been doing education for industry for a very long time. So the Stanford Center for Professional Development is really, we consider ourselves a bridge between the research and the curriculum here at Stanford University and industry. We have two veins of our portfolio. One of them is the academic programs, which you folks are enrolled and participating in. And we also have professional programs as well in topics such as strategic decision and risk management, advanced project management, IT benchmarking, entrepreneurship and innovation. So there are also the professional education for folks that really perhaps aren't interested in the academic credit, but want to be able to learn new skills that they can apply immediately in their jobs. So this is actually one of our students. I usually like to try to highlight one of our participants in our sessions here. This is Brett Ong. Brett actually came to the Stanford Center for Professional Development through a partnership that Stanford University has with the National University of Singapore. He came here in a co-terminal program and he earned his bachelor's degree at NUS, National University of Singapore, in mechanical engineering, came back to Stanford University and actually finished up his master's degree here. He then went into the workforce, and when he was starting to work on some teams, he decided that he needed a little bit more tooling to be able to do his job well. And so he participated in a professional certificate program, the Stanford Strategic Decision and Risk program. Learned a lot of tools that he was able to take back into his career and get the attention of his management. He wanted to actually start to run with that level of his group and wanted to be more involved in the direction and steering the teams that he was working with. So he participated in the professional education certificate, the advanced project management. When he completed that, he decided to undertake a master's degree in management science and engineering, and he did it through the Honors Cooperative Program, which is the part-time distance learning master's degree. So he really embodies what we try to promote here, which is lifelong learning, that you will be at different stages in your career over your life, and there's always going to be use for education and knowledge on how to do things differently and more efficiently, and stay at the the leading edge of your career. So these are some of the partner companies that we have memberships with. I'm sure that many of them are familiar to you. And so we have, I would say, on or about 325 companies that we have memberships with. And so these students that are affiliated with these companies are able to participate in the master's degree program, which requires that company membership. So this gives you an idea of some of the companies that we work with. So to get a little bit more detailed about our graduate portfolio, there are several different ways that you can engage. The first one is through individual courses, and we call that the non-degree option. And you can enroll in a course for credit. You can take classes with online delivery, and 18 units taken through the non-degree option program can be transferred into a master's degree program should you apply to the department and are admitted. So participation in the non-degree option, actually the students watch the videos, they do all of the same assignments, take the same exams, they have the same expectation, and they earn real Stanford graduate credit. So it's a great opportunity for folks to engage with Stanford content here on campus that is happening in the classroom. For students that have a topic area that is of interest to them, we have graduate certificates, which is a focused guided curriculum within the School of Engineering, the departments that are affiliated with our center. It's 3 to 5 courses, and you leave with a credential from Stanford that you're certified in that topic. And again, those credits roll over into a master's degree program. The next level is the Honors Cooperative Program, which is a master's degree program here at Stanford. It's the same master's degree that students take here on campus when they are residential students. This just allows people to take the degree at a part-time basis, so they can maintain their careers while they are taking Stanford classes and earning their degree. One of the benefits about the Honors Cooperative Program is that you can take the courses online if you're remote, or you can come to campus here and take classes, sit in the classroom and participate. So that's a great benefit for those of you that are pursuing your degree. And the least committed program in this, which is just for people that maybe they have a master's already or perhaps a PhD, but they just want to hear about what's happening today and what's being taught in that topic now. We have an audit program where you can audit a course, you get access to the videos, and you can watch them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the duration of the quarter, but you don't have the same expectation with the homework and the exams. There's no credit, there's no grade, so there's no pressure. You just get to be able to absorb the content that the faculty is teaching in the classroom. Does anybody have any questions about the different levels of engagement here? Yes?
Do you guys accept people in the Honors Co-op program all year long, or is it only in fall?
So it really depends on the department. The question is, do we accept people in the Honors Cooperative Program to be able to start all year? And the answer is, it depends on the department. There are some departments that have a rolling admissions where you can be offered admission and start any given quarter. And there are some that they just have it in autumn. We do have that information on our website, and you can also find it on the graduate admissions website of Stanford University. But the admissions are all, so we don't actually admit anyone, but the grad admissions department would go ahead and make those decisions. Anybody else? Yes?
Is there a time limit within which you have to take the courses to be able to transfer it towards a master's degree?
That's a very good question. The question was, is there a time limit that you have to be able to take courses through the non-degree option and then transfer those units over to the master's program, the Honors Cooperative Program? And the answer is no. The units that you take in the non-degree option program do not expire. They will go ahead and roll over into the degree. The department and your faculty advisor, if you're admitted into the degree program, would go ahead and make a decision with you on what courses would be applicable to what areas. But no, the units do not expire. Okay. So this is just a little bit of a kind of a mapping system so you can see how these different students engage and where they find the information that they need to be able to enroll, look at grades, pay their tuition. And so you can see that for the audit, NDO, and HCP students, so the course selection, you would go ahead and look at the SCPD website. For the Honors Cooperative students that are here local in the Bay Area and can come to campus, then you can go ahead and look at any of the courses on the Stanford Bulletin or the Access system, and you can enroll in any of those courses because you'll be coming to campus. But if you are remote and you need to be able to access online courses, you're going to want to make a point of looking at the SCPD website for your selection of courses that are going to be taken. And the registration through the SCPD website for the audit and non-degree option, Honors Cooperative students actually enroll directly through the Access system. And then we will go ahead and take those lists, the study lists for our students, and we'll go ahead and enter those on the back end of our system so you don't have to enroll in both places. And then again, like the payment is through SCPD, the department approval. When you're in the Honors Cooperative Program, you're approved by the department for admission to the degree. And so you will work with your faculty advisor to determine your course path to be able to earn your degree. The non-degree option, you are approved on a course-by-course basis by the department. However, we are starting a new process where we will be working with the departments to have folks that are interested in a specific graduate certificate. If they indicate that they're intending to pursue a certificate, then we will go ahead and work with the departments to be able to kind of get an overall approval of the courses. And as long as it's a performance-based program, and as long as you maintain the GPA to be able to continue on, then you will go ahead and just be able to be approved by certificate. And then the auditors, they aren't taking it for credit, and there's no interaction with the teaching team, so the departments don't need to approve that process. We can just go ahead and process the audit enrollment. The videos, which I'll go over in more detail in a moment, but the videos can be accessed in your My Stanford Connection account on the SCPD website. So that's where you will go ahead and log in to be able to view the lectures each week. And then the grades and evaluations and transcripts, those are located in the Stanford University system of record access. And it's a portal where lots of student information and course information is contained. You're going to want to go ahead and make sure that you check your grades there, because we do not store grades in our system. So to access the videos, like I just said a moment ago, you would go ahead and go to the SCPD website, scpd.stanford.edu, and then you'll log into your My Stanford Connection account. Some of you, I know that there are times that we get questions about, why, if it's online, do you guys have the day and the time posted on the course page? If I'm accessing it online, why does it matter? And the answer is that the videos are posted online within 2 hours of the completion of class here on campus. And so we put that there as a reference for you guys to know that, if you guys wanted to watch the video at your lunchtime in your office, that's when you can expect it to be there. So we do post the videos pretty quickly. It's usually less than 2 hours, but we like to give ourselves that time frame so you guys have a reasonable expectation. So I'm going to kind of just walk through very quickly the next few slides, because this is just a quick graphical display of how to get connected to your video. So you'll go ahead and go into the My Stanford Connection tab on our website. And once you're there on our site, this is the page that you'll see. And you would just click on the link My Course Records, which will take you to this page. And you'll have the enrolled courses, which are the courses that you're currently participating in. When you click on that link under My Enrolled Courses, it'll take you to the video page for the course. And you can see that we do offer the delivery in Windows Media Player or Silverlight. So you can choose whichever of those platforms works best for you. And then you can go ahead and click on that link, the little icon there, and the videos will come up. So once you click on that, this is what the user interface looks like. So you can see how the videos appear when you are on the video page. And we do have a tab for notes and for the lectures. And the lectures stack up in chronological order so that you can go ahead and select the lecture by date if you guys are going back to review something. Or so that you know how they will appear. If the course has problem or review sessions, we try to capture those in our classrooms and put those online as well, so that any kind of additional sessions that are provided to the students here on campus that will be used to enhance the lectures, we try to make sure that you all have access to those as well. So, and those will be included as extra session or problem sessions. So you guys should be able to identify those as being different than the actual lecture. Yes?
Is there any way to download the videos and watch them offline?
So the question is there an ability to download the lectures and watch them offline? And the answer is not in our current model. We are actually working to develop a digital rights management platform that we can go ahead and allow that to happen. But as of today, it's not something that we deliver widely to our courses. We have done a few pilots over the quarters to be able to, and we pick a selection of courses, 3, 4, 5 courses, and we have piloted different technologies that will allow that, and they have been successful, but we have a little bit more work to do before we deploy it to all of our courses. So it is something that will be available going forward, but we don't have a drop date on that yet. So when you are in the lecture page, you'll notice here at the bottom of the page there is a link to create a note. If you wanted to say perhaps you're watching the video and the faculty will say something like, this is going to be on your final, you can click on that link and it opens up a window like this that you can type in a note, and you can, whatever it is that you want to remember about that, and you can then push submit, and it will appear like this within the lecture, so that you can go back and review that when you're preparing for your midterm or your final exam. You can also make the notes so that they are private, or you can share them with other people that are in the class online as well. And for any kind of technical issues that come up during the quarter, if you're having a problem connecting to the course, if there's anything that prevents you from viewing the videos, please don't wait to tell us. We really encourage you to let us know right away, because a lot of this stuff can be, figured out very, very quickly and get you back up and running and make sure that you don't have any issues. We don't want you guys to lose valuable time trying to figure out what might be going on. So please be sure to contact our tech support line if you guys have any questions or any issues. We have folks that are kind of monitoring that email and that phone line. I don't know if I'd go as far as say 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but it's pretty consistent, and you'll get a response right away, rather than going to the faculty or the teaching teams who then have to contact us, and it just slows you down. So we want to make sure that we get a quick response to any issues that come up with your video. So one of the things that you will learn, if you haven't already, but when you start the class and you have your first video, the faculty will, most courses have a course web page. The faculty will go ahead and refer to the web page so that you guys are able to log into that. It's oftentimes they'll have those on courseware or Courseworks, or sometimes they're using Coursera now, Piazza. There's lots of different platforms that faculty use here. And essentially, you'll use your SUNET ID, which I hope that all of you guys have by this point or will be getting very soon. You'll use that to authenticate through the university system, access the course web page. And they have a lot of information there about, like, they'll have the syllabus for the course, they'll have the teaching assistants' names, emails, contact information, phone numbers. They'll have office hours. A lot of the assignments are posted on these sites, so that's how you'll access the assignments. So the course website will be provided on the first day of class if you don't have it already. Some of the faculty and the teaching teams are really proactive, and they start setting these things up right away. They pull their class list from Access and they email everybody before classes start. So some of you may already know about this, but if not, not to worry. You will definitely get that the first day of class, and then you can go ahead and make sure that you are able to find out all of this information that's here. So one of the things that we like to emphasize also is deadlines, because we appreciate that you guys are a busy, busy group of people. You guys are juggling your jobs and then classes, and you may have families and lots of other things that are going on in your lives. So we really try to make a point of emphasizing that you need to pay attention to the deadlines. The first day of instruction. So for any of you that don't know that already, it's going to be on Monday the 24th, so just a few days from now. The date to drop courses. There's a date that you can drop the course where you get a refund, and then after that date you can still withdraw or take an incomplete, but you can't drop and get a refund. So for those of you that have a tuition benefit with your employer and you guys need to make sure that there's a refund, you need to pay attention to that date as well, which I believe is October 12th. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it's October 12th. Then the withdrawal date, same thing, it's a little bit further on in the quarter. The assignments and exams, that's something that I really want to make sure that I emphasize as well, is that the faculty and the teaching teams are integrating the online students with their on-campus class. And so There are faculty that are very understanding that will give you a little bit of leeway if you have a trip and you're going to be gone the day that something is due and you need to turn it in the following day or the day before you travel. And we would encourage you to work with the faculty if you have something like that comes up. That said, the faculty all know that SCPD students are expected to meet the same deadlines for their assignments and exams as the on-campus students. So you may have one that says that they just can't shift it because maybe it puts a monkey wrench into their teaching team's grading process. But if something comes up, I would say by and large the faculty are pretty helpful and try to take things into consideration, but don't bank on that. Make sure that you reach out to them as early as you know that there may be a conflict. Talk to them about it, and they'll go ahead and let us know if they've given you any kind of consideration. But I would say overall you want to try to make sure that you can hit the deadlines for assignments, projects, and exams. And then if you guys are looking for the final exams dates, that's something else that will also be on the course webpage. I know that some of you have, business trips that you might need to take and you don't want to miss the exam. So if you guys are planning something and need to be able to have the final exam date, you should check on the course website so that you can know early and either make arrangements or know if it's not going to be compatible with your work schedule. And I will say that travel and workload is not a reason to miss a deadline. You want to try to, again, always hit those deadlines to stay aligned with the class on campus. So for submitting assignments, we actually have a department within our organization. It's our distribution department, and they are phenomenal at kind of managing the process of getting assignments from our students, getting them to the faculty, getting them back from the faculty and back to our students graded. But so if you're submitting the assignments to SCPD, you would want to go ahead and make sure that, so you can submit them by email or by fax with this information here. But you also want to make sure that you have your name, the course, how many pages, the page numbers on the page so that we know that we have the entire assignment when we receive it and we go ahead and deliver it to the faculty. When we receive your assignments, we do date and time stamp them so that we have a record of that. One of the things that I'll also point out is that the faculty, a lot of them like to kind of cut the middleman and just have everything sent to them directly. It's easier. We definitely don't want to get in the way of what the faculty would like to have happen. So if they tell you that they want you to submit your assignment to them, please submit them to your faculty or the teaching team directly. But if you could also, if you're emailing it to them, if you could copy the SCPD distribution email onto that submission. The reason I say that is because in this world of electronic processes, lots of things can happen, and we don't want your grade or your assignment to be depending on whether something was received by the teaching team. So we have a system of record that we can log the information. So if they can't find it or don't have it, it doesn't transfer, it doesn't get through, we can give a backup, and we can also show the faculty that yes, you did submit it within the time frame that you were allowed. So please make sure that you do copy us if you do submit it to the faculty directly. Yes?
Are these slides available online, or do we have access to these slides?
The slides?
Yes.
So we're actually taping this, and we're going to go ahead and put the whole presentation online. And all of this information is on our website. You can certainly find it, definitely. So also, if there's a missing assignment, if the faculty happens to tell you, hey, what's going on, we didn't get your assignment, let us know right away, and we'll go ahead and look into our records and make sure that we can either find it and get it to the faculty right away. Maybe we can let them know a date that we delivered it, and so they can go ahead and look in their files and see if they've gotten it and maybe it got shuffled in with other papers. So please let us know if there's any kind of a question about an assignment not being received or not showing up, somebody didn't get it. And also if you haven't gotten your assignments back graded and you know that they've been distributed by the faculty or the teaching team, please let us know and we'll make sure that we kind of hunt those down and get those back to you guys. Yes?
I'm surprised you don't ask for like a student ID or like a SUID on the when you submit assignments. I mean, haven't you guys had problems with just names being confused?
So The question was that why don't we ask for a SUNET ID or a SUID when people are submitting assignments so that we can make sure we have a tracking system there. And so that's why we say that we want the course number. Maybe if we come across a situation where we have two people with the same name in the same course, we might start scratching our head and thinking about how to get around that. But at this point, it hasn't been a problem. But it's a good point. You never know. But if you could at least put this information on it, and if you want to put your SUID or your SUNET, you're welcome to do that too.
What happens after we submit a homework, or like after we send the email? What's going to happen?
Good question. So the question is, once you submit your assignment to us, either an email or submit it to us by fax, which I think most people use email these days, what happens then? So the process is, once we receive your emailed assignment, or if you fax us your assignment, once we've received it, we will go ahead and print it out, we date and time stamp it, and then we have several runs a day that our distribution team makes out to the different departments, and we have bins in each department where we leave homework and assignments, projects that are submitted, and the teaching team know where these bins are. They go and they pull all of the information out, they grade them with the rest of the assignments, and then when they're done, they put them back in the bin, we take them back. We make several runs on this route every day. So we do runs where we drop them off, we go back later in the day, we pick things up, and then once we get them back, then we'll go ahead and scan them in a PDF, and we'll go ahead and email you back the graded assignment.
So when do we start suspecting that something is not right?
So when would you start expecting that something's not right? A lot of times the course instructor will indicate when something has been returned, if something has been graded and sent back. They'll usually mention it maybe at the beginning of the class that we've distributed the assignments that were turned in last week and they're graded, so make sure you look for them because the students here on campus oftentimes will pick them up there in class, or maybe go to another bin in the same department and pick up the on-campus submissions. So if you do hear that they have graded and sent them back and you haven't gotten yours, then you definitely should go ahead and let us know, and we'll see if we've gotten them back yet for the class. And if you haven't heard anything back and you guys are looking at, on the syllabus, if you guys have another assignment that's coming up in a few days and you want to get that feedback because it might, determine how you do things for that next assignment, please don't hesitate. Please contact us and let us know, and we'll make sure that we get on it immediately. Okay. So exams. So I will let you know that many of you have probably already done this, but so if you're taking a course through SCPD, every student taking the course for credit and a grade has to assign an exam monitor. This monitor will proctor their exams during the course of the midterm, if there is a midterm, and a final exam. We do this because the Western Association of Schools and Colleges requires that we ensure that the exam is being taken according to the guidelines that the students here on campus are taking them, that they're within the guidelines that the instructor, as far as timing and tools or resources that are able to be used. So we do have everyone assign an exam monitor at the start of the quarter. We will go ahead and send you an email probably within the first, I would say, week or 10 days of the quarter with a link where you can designate someone that will go ahead and be on your account. You can do it by quarter, you can do it by academic year, but we will go ahead and then send the exam to that person who will go ahead and administer them for you. The exam monitor does not need to be in the room with you with a stopwatch, making sure you take the test within an allotted time. They'll receive the exam. They will go ahead and have a quiet place for you to take it, and they'll go ahead and give it to you to take, and they'll let you know what materials are allowed to be used in that session. And then when it's finished, you will go ahead and give your exam to that person, and they will receive it, sign off on it that it was taken according to the teaching team guidelines, and they will return it to us. The exam monitor is usually an HR manager or a direct supervisor. If you work for yourself and you don't have a manager or an HR person that you can work with on this, then you can do it at another institution. You can do it at a local library. So there are definitely options for those of you who don't have someone within their company that can be a proctor for them. We do contact the exam monitors and make sure that they understand the responsibilities that are associated with being in that role. We also make sure that they understand the Stanford Honor Code so that they know what they're signing up for. And also, an exam monitor cannot be your spouse, your neighbor, your mom. You need to make sure that it's somebody that doesn't have a personal relationship with you. So when we contact them and ask them what their relationship is to you, please don't submit your mom or your neighbor or your wife. So again, the exam process, we send the exam monitors the exams. If you have business travel, and your exam monitor is going to change, please let us know as soon as you have that information. It's not a small task to be able to change someone's exam monitor because we need to change it in our system. We need to make sure that we have confirmed that they are an appropriate substitution. So that it is a little bit of a process, and we want to make sure that we have time to do that. And we will not send out an exam to anyone that does not have an exam monitor appointed. Yes?
So if I'm coming here to take the midterm and the finals, do I still need an exam monitor?
So the question is, if I'm coming to campus to take the exams, midterm or final, do I still need an exam monitor? The answer, I'm sorry, is yes. And the reason is because to meet the WASC guidelines for our accreditation, we have to have an exam monitor on file for each student that's taking a course for credit. If we don't have that person on file, you never know. You might be coming to campus and you get a flat tire and you're stuck on the freeway, and so you have the tow truck take you back to work, and we want to make sure that as long as we have somebody on file, we're going to send you your exam and make sure that you can take it. So things come up that are unexpected, and we just want to make sure that you are going to be able to take your exam regardless of the circumstances. So we do ask everybody to submit that. Yes?
Frame that we have to take the exam after it being sent to the exam monitor.
So the exam guidelines are going to be clarified to you by the by the course instructor. They'll let you know all the details about how you're going to be able to take the exam. And typically, we will send the exam to the exam monitors the morning of that the exam is going to be given, or perhaps the evening before, so that they have it and they're ready to give it to you when you're going to start taking it. Some faculties say go ahead and send it out early, and it's they have an undefined period of time. Maybe it's an overnight exam. Sometimes some courses give you a week to take it. So it really depends on what the course instructor determines with the guidelines, and we make sure that the exam monitors have them in advance of that time, either the evening before or that morning first thing. Yes?
Can you designate a backup exam monitor in the event our primary is not available?
Very good question. The question was if folks can designate a backup monitor in case their primary monitor is not available, and the answer is yes, we actually do ask for that. We ask for a primary monitor and a backup monitor so that we have that on file. And if you are able to go ahead and submit both, it makes it a lot easier if things change. Then we don't have to assign somebody and go through that whole process. We've already done it for both.
So Michelle, just to let you know, we have a Twitter audience tonight, and
Yes.
we had one question that just came through. Can distance learning students take exams on Stanford campus?
So the answer is yes, they can. If the students are within usually 25, 30 mile distance of the campus, some of the faculty will actually expect the students to come to campus. They want you in the classroom taking the exam with the on-campus students whenever possible. Obviously, if you're not close and it's not possible, then yes, you can definitely take it online. But absolutely, if you're able to come to campus, we would definitely welcome you. Yes?
If you take an exam on campus, and what should the monitor do in this case?
If you're coming to campus,
yes.
Then let us know that you're going to come to campus, and we will not send out an exam to your monitor unless we hear that you didn't make it and that you need us to. But yeah, we will not send it out if you let us know that you're going to be here on campus. And I thought I saw another question out here somewhere.
It was the same question.
Okay, okay, excellent. Yes?
Non-degree option students only can attend it remotely, right? I mean, we can't be in attendance in person.
Right, so the question was about the non-degree option students and the access to the course. And the non-degree option students are expected to access the course through online delivery only. And the students that are in the Honors Cooperative Program have the choice of either consuming it online or coming to campus for the course. And the reason is, I'll be very upfront with you, is that we have a very limited number of classrooms here on campus. Class sizes are increasing, and there is just a lack of seats. And so we can't displace degree-seeking students by inviting non-degree students to the campus. So there may be classes that are online, and you see that there's a lot of empty seats. And you know, if you're local and you're close and you talk to the faculty, it may be fine for you to drop in and sit in on a class once in a while, but we just don't want it to be a regular thing, because there will be times where it's just not feasible in the classroom. And so we try to be respectful of the students that are pursuing a degree that need the course to be able to complete their degree program.
Just a follow-up question on that. In order to if you're remote or online, how do we? I mean, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 2 p.m., whatever the class time. Do we attend it during that time, or is it 2 hours later?
If you're accessing the content online, the question was, when do we access the online content? If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, 1 to 2:15, when can we access that online? The answer is that the videos go up 2 hours later, and so you would be able to access it a couple of hours after the class ends. So you'd be looking at about 4:15 if the class ends at 2:15.
So 1 to 2 doesn't mean anything.
That's what time it happens on campus. And so when we post that time, then that's just for you as a reference for when they'll be online. Yes?
How do we know where the classroom is, the course that we can go to?
So if you're an honors cooperative student that's pursuing a master's degree and you're going to be coming to campus for classes, the classroom, you can find it on the access system, which is where you enroll in the course anyways. So the classroom will be listed there. And then again, the non-degree option students are not expected to come to campus. That's why we don't post the classrooms on our website, because the students that are approved to be able to attend on campus can access that information on the access system.
What about the parking situation? Do we use visitor parking if we do decide to drop in as an ADO student, or do we get a parking permit, or what's the deal?
So parking on campus is free from 4 p.m. on. And if you are coming to campus to be able to sit in on a class, or there's a seminar, or you wanted to come here for office hours, then there is metered parking here on campus, and you can park in that parking. I think there's permits that you can buy, like a day permit, depending on how long you're going to be here on campus, or it's free of charge after 4 p.m. Yes.
Continue the question. Is there like some sort of system that tells you not to actually have any spaces?
I wish that, so the question was, is there any system that you can check and see if there's availability in the parking lot? And I wish the answer was yes, because then us staff would probably look at it when we drive into campus every morning and see if we could get the best parking lot spot. But the answer is no. You would have to just use the searchable campus map for the parking lots and then go ahead and take a chance. Yes?
Do you have to proactively check the course website or carefully listen to the lectures to know if there will be a homework, or will homework be emailed to us?
So the question was, do we have to check the course website or watch the videos to be able to know if there's homework, and or will it just be emailed it to you? So the answer is no, it will not be emailed to you. I'd be very surprised if anybody emailed out the homework assignments. They have the course websites where they post the assignments. They also reference them in the videos. So the one thing that I would make sure that I point out, if I haven't said it already, is that when you are taking the course for credit and a grade, keep up with the pace of the class. You don't want to wait a week or two to watch the videos thinking, oh, they're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I can catch up. You want to make sure that you keep the pace of class. I'm going to move on, and if there's more questions on this topic, let me know after the. So the Stanford Honor Code, when all of you created your account on the SCPD website, there's a few boxes at the bottom that reference, one of them references the Stanford Honor Code that you sign that you will agree to adhere to this. To boil it down to the most simplistic of terms, the Stanford Honor Code just essentially means do your own work. So for a more detailed description of the Honor Code, we have flyers out here in the lobby this evening that has some information about it. We have links on our website that you can go to and read. There's links on the Stanford website, but this was an honor code that was actually developed by Stanford students, talking about the expectation of them as students and of Stanford University and its faculty. But it basically is just that everyone here is going to do your own work. You all got admitted to these courses, so you guys definitely are able to do this. And so we have you sign that off, and that's the expectation. So if you have any questions about it, please feel free to go to the link and read through it on a more detailed note. Any other policies or forms that you guys would like to review that have to do with SCPD engagement can be found in your My Stanford Connection account under the forms and transcripts and policies. So if you have any questions about something, that's a good resource for you as well. So the course evaluations, we actually have all of our students that are taking courses for credit, they're all uploaded into the university system of record. So the university sends out course evaluations every quarter to all students that are enrolled in a course for credit. They send them at the end of the quarter, and it's basically to find out how do you feel about the class that you just completed? How was the teaching team and the instructor? Did you feel that they were knowledgeable? Were they prepared to teach the course? What did you think of the materials that they used? They want your feedback. It's very, very important to them. In fact, it's so important to them that they will give you, they'll release your grades about 2 weeks earlier if you complete that survey. So for those of you that have tuition reimbursement from your company, that's going to be very important. I should also point out that in the SCPD website, you are allowed to designate a preferred email address, but I should make sure that I emphasize that the Stanford survey is sent to your Stanford email address. So if you haven't gotten it on your Gmail account, it's because they don't send it there. So your SUNET ID will also be your email address, and so that's where you want to go to access this survey. And if you complete it, then again, your grades will be revealed to you sooner than they would if you don't.
I have a question.
Yes?
There is no anonymity in evaluations, am I right?
I'm sorry?
So I can do it not anonymously, so there's not signing.
When it's submitted, it is anonymous. Because you go into a link, it doesn't go straight from your email address. You go into a link that just collects the survey data. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. So then, in addition to the Stanford University surveys, we actually at SCPD have 2 surveys that we send out to our students as well. One of them is at the time of your enrollment, we send you in your receipt email a link to a survey that takes just maybe a couple of minutes to complete. Many of you have probably already filled this out for the quarter, but it's really just, we want to get feedback on how the enrollment process was for you. We want to know if it was very easy or if there was anything that was confusing or difficult or didn't work the way that you expected it to. And we do actually read through the responses, and we are very, very proactive about trying to make sure that we implement any changes that can make it a more streamlined process for you. So we do ask that you, if you do have a couple of minutes, we really like to hear your feedback. And then later on in the quarter, we actually send out a second survey that is really more based on the course. We want to know from our students that are, so the Stanford University survey is all the students in the course taking the course for credit. Ours is specifically for the distance learning student, and we want to know lots of the same information. How was the course? Was it what you expected? Did the teaching team respond to your questions quickly and accurately, and were they helpful? You know, how was your experience with the online interface? Did you have any problems with the videos? We want to know what your experience was as a distance learning student. So please do take the time to complete those if you can, because it's really valuable to us. And we actually share the information that's received, which also is anonymous. But we do share the information with our entire organization. And because we ask a lot of questions about the technology, the course descriptions, the homework and assignment distribution process, these surveys can be a change maker. So we definitely encourage you to try to make sure that you submit that information to us. So this is the homepage of our website, and I just wanted to point out like the things that you should really focus on when you go there. So the announcements, anything that's going to be coming up that's important that we want to share with our students, we go ahead and post it there on the announcements. The My Stanford Connection is where you're going to log in and get access to your videos and your account. The resources, which I'll show you that page in a moment, has a lot of information. It has actually the video recording of this orientation session. And we keep it there for the whole year so you can access it. If there's something else that you wanted to kind of refresh on, we have a link to the course advisors who work with SCPD, who are current graduate students that know the faculty, they know the department administrators, they know the courses and the content, and they can answer. They're a wealth of information to you. And so if you have questions about a course, or you know, if your background has prepared you well, you know, these folks are, I can't say enough about them. They really work hard to make sure that our students get very high touch and have all the answers that they need. And we actually have some of our course advisors here, so I'll introduce them in just a moment. But so that's located on the resources. We also have our graduate handbooks, which have like information very detailed so that you can find out about a lot of the information that you need to be successful and kind of know what to expect for the Honors Cooperative Program. There's one that's specifically for non-degree option students. There's also one for auditing students as well. So those things are all on the resources page. The calendar as well has a lot of dates that are going to be coming up, whether there's dates that we don't do classes, if there's you know, an event, an orientation event here on campus. So that's a good resource as well. Yes.
Okay, so Michelle, another question from Twitterland for you. Can distance learning students use on-campus facilities, for example, a swimming pool, a gym, a library, and so on?
Okay, so the SCPD students who are participating in the Honors Cooperative Program, they can participate and use the facilities here on campus if they're here locally. The non-degree option students have access to a couple of the libraries and some of the materials that are in the libraries. I don't know that they can check them out, but they can come here and they can go ahead and use the library facilities. But the entire Stanford facilities is reserved, it's a benefit that's reserved for the degree students. Any other questions? Okay. And so this is just a quick shot of our calendar so you can kind of see how things stack up. And we have things like the study list deadline and financial drop deadline. When the access system opens up for winter enrollments for the Honors Cooperative students. So the withdraw deadline. So this is a place that you want to check. If you don't have these things readily available or at your fingertips from the course website, please, by all means, check our website. We have a lot of information that would be applicable to all the different categories of students here on this page. So this is the resources page, and we have a link that takes you to the free course previews. If you want to see what a course is going to be teaching, we usually put the first lecture from a course up on our website on the course page so that you can kind of test drive it and see what you think. It tells you what's going to be covered. It gives you a little bit of an idea of what the user interface is going to be like for that course. It also lets you see who the faculty is going to be and kind of see what your take on them and their teaching styles are. So it's a really good place for you to kind of see if a course might be a right fit for you before you actually enroll. Again, we have the student orientation video, we have the graduate student handbooks, and then the course advisors. And if you click on that course advisors, it takes you to a page that has email links to all the different course advisors that work with us. And so I know that we have Louis Kaneshiro here in the back of the room, and he's our Management Science and Engineering and Statistics course advisor currently. We also have Stephen Bagley here, who is from the Biomedical Informatics group, and he is the director of that program, and he's a great source of information. We also have Chunhua Zhang, who's here from the Mechanical Engineering Department, and she's a course advisor as well. And we have Roshni Cooper, who is the Electrical Engineering course advisor, and she's there in the back of the class with her hand up too. And so these folks are going to be here this evening in our reception afterwards. So if you guys have questions and you want to talk to them about it, please don't hesitate to go up and ask them questions. They're here to help you. So the FERPA is the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, and essentially this is another one of those boxes that we have you initial at the bottom of your account when you sign up with a SCPD student account. And basically it says that we aren't going to release your information to third parties. We will go ahead and release your information to faculty and university staff that need to know. Beyond that, we don't release it, just generally speaking, to people on campus here. We can't make public or release your information to anyone else, including your employers, unless you give us permission to do so. Something else for those of you who select company pay, we need your consent to release your information to them, even just the tuition bill. So just wanted to point that out, that we do not sell your information or share it with anyone outside of the teaching team and some administrative staff here on the campus that need to have that. And just kind of the little tail end here. So if something comes up, I mean, essentially the big theme, contact us. If something changes, you know, with you getting started in the course, or you're having trouble getting access to your SUNET ID or your course videos, there's anything that comes up at the beginning, please contact us right away. We have a whole organization of people that are here to help make this an easier, more positive experience, and so please use us in that way. Don't try to, you know, figure things out or assume that it'll get better if you just give it more time. Don't wait. Things move very, very, very quickly here on campus, and so we want to make sure you guys get started off on the right foot and start running with the class when it happens here on campus. If the course isn't a good fit for you and you realize that after watching the first couple of videos, you know, pay attention to the deadlines. You can drop the course and get your tuition refunded if you determine that it's just not the right fit. And you may also be able to add into another course that is maybe better suited. If you're on the fence about something, if it's not too far into the quarter, maybe before the end of the first week, we might be able to go ahead and do that kind of a transfer. So please, you know, be proactive and let us know if you feel like it's just not headed in the way that you thought it might. If something comes up, an emergency, contact us. While there's limited exceptions, you know, we can help you determine if there's, you know, a way that we can pause your enrollment, drop the course. You know, things come up, and we'll definitely try to work with you to be able to make sure that we're taking care of whatever's needed. And that's my contact. So if you guys have any questions specifically about the graduate programs, the portfolio of courses, I invite you to contact me, email, phone. If you come down to campus and come into the office, please feel free to drop by and ask for me. I'm here all the time, and would love to be able to meet you if I don't get a chance to talk to you tonight, and answer any questions that I'm able to. Does anybody else have any questions? Yes?
You mentioned the Stanford email address. Mm-hmm. Where would I even find out what it is?
So you can use webmail, which is in the, if you go to the Stanford main website, You can go into the alphabetical listing, and you can go into webmail, and you will be asked to authenticate. You'll use your SUNET ID, which is required to access the course websites and all the rest, and your password, and it'll open up an email box for you. And so students who are actively enrolled in a graduate course for credit get access to a Stanford email address. And so you can use that to communicate with classmates, with your teaching team, if you don't want to use your personal email. And that's where anything that's sent out by the university, or oftentimes from the faculty and the teaching teams, if they're trying to send like one email out to all of the students on their class list, that's the email they send it to. So please make sure that you check those emails. And sometimes you can actually change your preference on the course web page so that the teaching team can email your individual email address. If that's something that you want, let them know. And they can go ahead and let you know how to do that. Yes?
So is there a way to have the Stanford email forward to my personal email?
It's a wonderful question. I know it can happen. I don't know how to do it because I've never had to do it personally, but the teaching team will definitely be able to help you with that. Any other questions? Yes?
Can a non-degree course be seamlessly ported into a degree option later on if you transition into a degree?
Can the non-degree option courses transfer into a degree if you decide to participate in a degree program later on? Absolutely, absolutely. So not the professional certificates, but the graduate certificate courses can. Absolutely. Up to 18 units as a non-degree option student, including the courses that are part of certificate programs. The graduate certificate programs can be rolled into a master's degree. Anybody else? Yes?
Some courses can have office hours.
It's a very good question. So he asked about office hours and how students can engage with the teaching team for office hours. And the answer is, if you're local and you can come here to campus, on the course web page, they'll have their office hours posted. And if you're able to make it to office hours, you're absolutely welcome to come and participate in those. You know, it's a really great opportunity to be able to meet with the teaching team, whether it's the TAs, or the teaching assistants, or the faculty, or the instructor, and have a little bit more time one-on-one with them, or with a small group where you can kind of brainstorm and talk through issues in the course. And you're definitely welcome to if you're local and it's convenient.
But they do not do any video conferencing.
You know, so some faculty and teaching teams do use tools like Live Meeting or WebEx or Link2, and so there's, as you've probably read in the news and on the Stanford website, there's a lot of interactivity happening right now on campus. Some of them are testing that kind of platform out with their office hours or their review sessions. Others are doing it for their classes. So it really kind of depends on the faculty teaching the course and if they are willing to use something that's interactive like that. And some are. I'll take one last question, and then we're going to have a reception out here that we can answer more questions throughout. Yes?
The graduate certificate program is considered a non-degree?
That's correct. So the graduate certificates are comprised of non-degree option courses. They're the same courses that happen on campus. They're all the same courses. It's just the way that you enroll in them. And so the courses that are in certificates are graduate courses. There's a collection of them that you can pursue to be able to get a credential from Stanford in a specialized area. And you can also roll those courses over into a degree if you decide to pursue a degree and you're admitted by the department. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the session here. We have some food and drinks out in the lobby, and there's going to be an opportunity for you to network and talk to your peers and classmates and some of the course advisors. I'll be here and available, as will much of the SCPD staff. So enjoy. Thank you again for coming, and we look forward to meeting and talking with you in the reception.
Thank you.